Hello, and welcome to How to Create a PowerPoint Presentation. PowerPoint is a program that can be used to create a presentation using a number of different slides. These slides can use many multimedia options, including text, pictures, videos, charts, graphs, and even clip art. Creating presentations can be fun with all of the different options you will have to design your presentation. Okay, so let's get started first by opening up PowerPoint. On my computer, I'm going to go down to the Start menu, and I actually have it pulled up right here. So just go ahead and click on PowerPoint, and it's going to bring you to the home page, essentially, for the PowerPoint program. Now, as you can see, there are many different designs that you can choose, even from the very beginning. However, for purposes of this tutorial, we want to kind of build it from the ground up so you kind of get a sense of how to use different aspects of it. So we are going to go ahead and we're going to go with the blank presentation. So just click on that. And this brings us to our first slide, or otherwise known as our title slide. This is going to be the first slide that anyone sees for your presentation. So let's start building this up. So first we want to go to where it says click to add title. This is where we're going to add the title for whatever our presentation may be. Now for today's purposes for the tutorial, let's do how to create a PowerPoint presentation. Okay, great. Okay, so there's our title. Now, if you see below, click to add subtitle. This is where, again, if you click on it, it'll bring up a text box. You can do anything here, from obviously putting a subtitle in. If you're possibly working in a group setting and you have a group name, you could put that here. For today, I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to put my name. Okay, perfect. So now we have our title slide. We have our title on it, and I have my name on it in the subtitle section. But obviously, as you can see, it looks really kind of boring. But there's a way that we can change that. So we're going to go up here to the tab section. These are all the tabs. We're going to go to the design section. If you click on the design section, all of a sudden you're going to see different designs come up. Now, as you scroll across these with your cursor, you're going to see that they show what your title slide would look like with that design. So obviously there's many different options, and then if you don't find anything up here, you can always go down to this down tab that says more, and there's more titles to choose from. There's more designs to choose from. So for today's purposes, we're going to go really easy and we're just going to click onto this one. Okay, so now we have our design in place. Now this design is going to come up on every single one of our slides. So next, let's say we want to change our font or the size of our font. This is really easy. Again, you just go in, highlight the words that you want to change. We're going to go back up to the tab section where we were before and hit the home button. Now, you can see on the home button, there's many different things you can do. For today's purposes, for this tutorial, we're going to keep it very simple, and we're going to start with let's change our font. So we go over here, click the down arrow, and as you can see, it gives you many different fonts. Now, as you scroll down over them, it shows you exactly what that font is going to look like on your title page, on your title slide. So let's go down, and for today, we'll pick this one. Now, let's say we don't like the size of the font. We want it to maybe be a little bit smaller. So right next to where you find the font, you're going to find the sizing. So let's go down and let's make it 48. So now we have to decide where we want this to be on our page. We can go right up here, and currently it's all the way to the left alignment. We can do a center alignment to where it's in the exact center of the box and the page, or we can go all the way to the right. So for this purpose, let's just pick the center. Now, if you want to move the entire text box, we would go up here, and you're going to wait until you get that little cross right there. So once you get that, you can click on it, and then we can move it over here, over here, over here, down here, wherever we want. So just so you know that that is an option if you don't like how close it is, whatever it may be. So we're going to leave it right smack dab there. So again, I want to go in, and for my name, I want to go in and I want to change the color. So this right here is the font color. If you hit the drop down arrow, then it's going to give you multiple options of different colors you can use. For right now, let's just go ahead and choose pink. And now there we go. This is going to be our title slide for our presentation on how to create a PowerPoint presentation. So now we've gone ahead and done this. So now it's time to move on to our second slide in our presentation. Now there's two different ways you can do this. The first way I'm going to show you is if you go over here, you're going to see new slide. Now obviously that's the first option you would want to go to because you want to create a new slide. I'm going to show you another option first if that's okay. Let's go up to this page design right above it, and we're going to click on it. Now, when we do that, it automatically brings up our second slide. This is just your basic run-of-the-mill slide that isn't, it's not a compare and contrast. There are many different options that we can do later. But I just want to start with a very simplistic design. So we have to, here we go, click to add title. So we want to add a title to show everyone what our second slide is going to be about. So for today's purposes, we're going to go ahead and just do slide number 2. Okay, so that looks great. Now, we have a couple of different options that we can do on how our wording actually gets seen by your audience. So we're going to go up here to animations, and this is where this program starts to get really cool. You can change many different things about how your presentation shows up. So we want to go ahead and we want to highlight our actual section, and let's say for this we choose fly in. Now see how it flew up from the bottom, which is a really cool option. Now let's pick another one. So again, we go through and we're going to highlight this section, and let's say we hit float in. So see there, it's just floating up from that line. Now again, there are many different options you can use. It's something you just have to kind of sit and play with, figure out what's best for your presentation. Again, there's a drop-down bar, gives you different ways to have things come in, to emphasize things on the page, and to exit out. You can have things fly out, bounce, wipe, fade. There's a number of different options for you. So for right now, we're going to keep this as floating in. Okay. Now, another really cool thing about PowerPoint are transitions. Now, this is going to be how your pages actually come into focus during your presentation. So let's say we want this page to push up. So there we go. You see that it goes from our first slide, which is our title slide, and then slide 2 just simply pushes up. Let's say we want to wipe it in. So that's exactly what it did there. Now let's say we want to fade it in. So it just randomly fades into it. So again, as with the other things, there's many different options you have. Again, you can always go down and there's plenty of more options you can have. And again, this is kind of where you get to play with everything and make it exactly what you want and create your own design kind of. So now that we know those couple of different options, now we have this whole huge space that we have to fill in. Now, how are we going to do this? There are, in the middle of this screen, we can add a table, we can add a chart, we can insert a smart art graphic, we can insert a video, an online picture, or even a picture from our computer. So let's go ahead here and let's select online picture. So now it's going to bring up, I have mine actually, so it brings up Bing image search automatically. So let's say we want to find a picture of the sun. So it's going to bring up all of these different options. So let's go ahead and pick this one, and then you just simply go over and insert it. So here we go. So here's the sun. Now this sun looks pretty small, but there are different sizing options that we can do. So let's say we want to make this sun bigger. You just go to the right-hand corner and we make it bigger. And then again, you have the little cross in the middle. You can move it anywhere on the page you want. So let's say we want the sun to be right here. And let's say we want to make it a little bit bigger. Now remember, if you try and go from the bottom or the top, it's just going to scrunch the picture like this. And then same thing from the sides, it's just going to scrunch the picture. So your best option is to always utilize the corners because that's just going to kind of draw it out so it all stays the same size for you. So now that we've gone ahead and done this, let's make this will be our slide number 2. So we've inserted a picture. So now we're going to go back up to where it says new slide. Now instead of choosing the first option we did, let's go ahead and click on new slide. So here it's going to give us a number of different design options for our next slide. We can do something like the title slide that we did. This is title and content, which we just currently did. This is a section header, a title only. You can do a comparison where you're comparing, contrasting two things. You can have two contents where if you want to have one section that's, text and then the other section that's possibly a picture or a video. You can have a blank screen. You can have content with a caption, or you can have a picture with a caption. Let's go ahead and we'll choose picture with a caption for our next slide. Okay, so this is now considered our slide number 3. So again, we have to go in and we have to add our title. So we're going to put slide number 3. Now here, you could put whatever kind of text you wanted to write. So for purposes of this tutorial, we're just going to do how to create slide number 3 in our tutorial. Okay, great. Now, again, we're going to go ahead and we can add a picture. Now, this is going to make it so you're going to grab pictures from inside of your own computer. So let's just go ahead and pick this picture right here. And this over here is just giving you different pointers. If you wanted to go ahead, you could always go into the Let's Go, and it just kind of gives you different ideas, that type of thing. It's something definitely to play around with. So here we go. So we have our picture, and it's within this frame. So, and there we go. So now we've created our slide number 2. And again, you can add whatever type of text you want over here. We can go ahead, we can change all of this font, we can change the sizing, everything you want to possibly do. So that is going to be kind of the end of the tutorial section. Now I'm just going to give you some last minute tips and tricks. If we go up to where it says slideshow up here, we can go over from the beginning, over here where it says from beginning, and you can watch your entire presentation from the beginning to the end, just like this. So to go from slide to slide, you would just click down, and then we're going to click again. And then there's that slide number 2 that comes up that we wanted to. And then here's our slide number 3. There is also, and all you have to do is hit exit to get out of there. And there's also a review section up here that allows us to go back and it allows us to look over our entire presentation to make sure that everything is exactly how we want it. There's also, over here in the review section, you can look things up, you can do a new comment. There are many different options, and it's just really a matter of playing around with all the different features that it offers at this point. And that is going to be the end of our tutorial on how to create a PowerPoint presentation. I hope it's been painless and fun. And remember, the most important thing is just have fun with it. Don't be afraid to try something different. Always remember that whatever you come up with will be great. Just always try and make sure that it all kind of matches together. All of the slides match together. So that's going to be the end of our tutorial. Thank you very much for listening and for staying tuned. And have a great day.